So why astrology? For me, astrology came into my life in about 2018. Well, that's certainly when I started to pay closer attention. If I'm honest, it was always something that I kind of looked at when I was younger, but more from a mainstream sort of, yes, your zodiac kind of point of view, which never really particularly made sense to me, because how could every Cancer be experiencing the same thing? Anyway, so why astrology? For me, it's been a remembrance. It's almost like the more I remembered, or the more I connected with it, because I truly believe it's in our bones, in our cells. It is interconnected. It is perhaps our navigating system, but it certainly, I have my own personal experience of the cosmos. I have my own blueprint that I've come here, soul contract, however you want to look at it. But when I started to remember, or started to reconnect to it, at first it was very triggering, because it was bringing up stuff that I'd been kind of running from, the pain I'd been running from, and I started to listen to astrologers that were talking from a sort of psychological, evolutionary kind of point of view, and it was very confronting for me. But I also know now that the timing of the astrology for me was exactly on point, and the remembrance. And I won't get into why. I'll just say from that point of view, it came to my first, it was very triggering, and then as a consequence of that triggering, which was deeply triggering, to the point that I eventually knew that I needed support. I knew there was something that I needed to face that I couldn't do alone, which is when I stepped into the body mind maturation work with Nikki Clinch. And I did that because I knew there was stuff that I was not able to explore without the mirror, without the container, without the safety of the holding. And so I stepped into that work after much resistance. I'd gone back and forth, alongside sort of the growing listening to the astrology, and that just became my magnetism to it, or my connection to it, just became stronger and stronger. And the more I could lean into not only the body mind stuff, but which is the somatics and the energetics of the healing, and the depth of the healing within that safe container that I'd stepped into, the more the connection with the astrology grew, and both of them simultaneously became tools or modalities that helped me feel really seen, feel really safe, and also that there was a purpose to it all, that I'd come here to grow and expand through these experiences, right back to birth, my childhood, but how I'd been resisting that, and how I'd been running from that, and how I'd been running from myself. And when I was able to be in the integration and alchemizing of the body mind stuff, and then see how the astrology was matched, or that certainly that what I had learned or can reconnect to in myself was both, and they were interconnected. So they've been incredible tools. Astrology was definitely a point of where I could become more aligned to what felt true to me, and so therefore it was an incredible opportunity to be seen, and how all aspects of my life were there for the opportunity for me to see, but also the opportunity for me to align with and lean into. And it is really an intuitive thing, because astrologers can reflect, but it's what feels true to me. And that's the same with the body mind. There's these opportunities to reflect something back, to mirror something back, and from a really deep listening. It's not listening with the ears, it's listening from the heart and from a depth that is beyond this material world. Anyway, so for me, the energetics and the interconnectedness and the opportunities and the leaning in and aligning with my natal chart, but also something that was already there waiting for me to remember, has just been exponentially transformative and continues, because obviously healing and the dissolving of everything that is there for me to alchemize or transmute or heal or remember is a process. It's part of this journey. It's not a one-hit wonder. It's not a golden bullet. It's a deepening. It's a spiral. It's a coming back to, and I'm forever grateful for this. For myself, actually, I'm grateful for the the bravery or the courage it took to step into it. But in some senses, it felt like I didn't really have a choice, which is where I think actually we know what step to take. Obviously, the mind can become very loud and can be the resistance to not, because once you step into that dissolving or reclamation, then the mind will tend to want to fight and resist. And for me, because part of my mechanism was to not be in the body because the overwhelm was too big. My mind had spent a long time protecting me. There was a lot of resistance, but definitely the astrology was an incredible tool and part of this journey of remembrance and healing and reclamation, like coming home. And as I said, it continues. I've got some interesting transits at the moment, which are really taking me that layer deeper. And I'll talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, astrology has just been something that is brought an aliveness to me that I didn't even realize.